Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad to be back with a new video. This time we have a small motorcycle show. We have here some vintage motorcycles starting from 1920 up to 2022. So let's take a look at them. This one is a Tsundap Em 249 from Germany. It's a 1926. It's a two-stroke engine, monocylinder, and it has 4.5 horsepower and a maximum speed of 80 kilometers per hour. What a bike, man. It looks awesome. This beauty over here, it's a Ultima Lion Type B from France. It's a 1920. It's a four-stroke monocylinder with a 346 cubic centimeters. It's a magneto ignition carburetor, and you can only kickstart it, of course. Maximum power 3.5 horsepower. Absolutely beautiful Ultima Lion. This is the oldest motorcycle from this show. This one over here, it's an NSU 251 OSL from Germany, a 1943 NSU. Maximum speed 100 kilometers, 10.5 horsepower. Here we have two sidecars motorcycles. It's a 1951 Ifa Bk 350. Was presented to the public in 1951 in the spring show Leipzig. 1951 came in production a year later. Two-stroke boxer engine with a 343.5 cubic centimeters. It has two carburetors, 16.5 horsepower and a maximum speed of 115 kilometers per hour. With only 15-17 horsepower, this motorcycle was not actually quite a performer, but it was very attractive, robust, durable, easy to fix, only with some basic tools. And depending on the configuration, this could be equipped with a 4-gear transmission standard, or as a sidecar it was used with short gear ratios. The next one, it's also a sidecar motorcycle. This is a Tsundap K500 from Germany. This Tsundap was a star. A 1937 Tsundap K500 was a star for the motor show in Berlin. Tsundap was very well known for its transmission. This is a small Simpson Sr-2e from Federal Republic of Germany, a 1960 Simpson. SR is the abbreviation from Simpson Rheinmetall. It's a successor of the first moped, SR1. This is a two-stroke engine, monocylinder, 47.6 cubic centimeters, carburetor, fueled, and 2 gears, chain transmission, 1.8 horsepower. And what we have here, it's a Romanian motorcycle, a copy of Tsundap, Carpati Super it's called, from 1962. This is a two-stroke engine, 68 cubic centimeters, 3 horsepower and 55 kilometers per hour. The seat looks quite comfortable. This is the first motorcycle of, let's say, sold to the public in Romania. It was called Carpati. And the inspiration source for the Romanian engineers were the Simpson Sr-2e. At least aesthetically speaking, we have both of them over here presented. So aesthetically, it looks quite a lot with the Simpson Sr-2e. Because the Romanian models, it's quite different, technically speaking. This motorcycle, small motorcycle, had a 1.8 fuel consumption, which is quite amazing for those times, and even for these times, considering the gas prices. Between 1959 and 1964, there were produced around 5,000 Carpati motorcycles. And between 1971 and 1994, the same Tohan mechanical factory was produced Mobra 50, Mini Mobra and Hoinar. The next one, it's Czezeda Czeze 501 or Czezeda from Czechoslovakia. This well known for the CZ, one of the most important world motorcycle manufacturers. Its peak was in 50-60s, in the year 50-60s. The company started armament production beginning of 20th century, establishing in Prague. After the First World War, they changed to bicycle production, buying a factory in Kralupy Not Vlavo. In 1932 started to produce motorized bicycles, and shortly started to become one of the biggest motorcycle constructor in Czechoslovakia. But check out these lines. It's quite impressive from the design, very aerodynamic. It looks totally special design. So it has 172 cubic centimeters, 4 gears, 8 horsepower, 80 kilometers per hour, the maximum speed. Quite powerful. And here it's one of the most iconic motorcycles from Romania, from the communist times, Mobra. This is the Mobra 50S Super. My father had one of these. I was actually sitting quite a lot in my childhood on one of these. We have Transfăgărășan picture on the back, and here it's the Mobra. Quite amazing. My father did with this bike, with a identical bike, something like this on a red color, more than 260,000 kilometers. It's quite amazing how much you could ride these bikes. Mobra 50 has started in 1941. The engine came from the Metrom factory from Brașov, while the motorcycle were produced in Tohan factory from Zarnesti. Some people say that this bike, it's a copy, it's a controversy actually. They say that this bike, it's a copy of the German Tsundap, or it looks quite a lot with the Honda. When you take a look at the wing from the petrol tank, the form, how the wing from the petrol tank looks like. This is this motorcycle came after that one. After the Carpati motorcycle came this Mobra in Romania. Then after the first Mobra 50 came this one, which is Mobra 50 Super, which corrected more of the errors, projecting errors from the previous models, and also more complication which they came to the design part. And the new motorcycle was projected accordingly to the characteristics of the Mobra 50, which was the predecessor, but with a more simple design, with a more simple design because there are no signals from the frontal fork. They took them out. This was on the previous model. This one doesn't have the signals. It's a same monocylinder, two-stroke monocylinder, which was air-cooled, had the 4 horsepower. It was also an off-road version of this Mobra. It's called Mobra Hoinar. Was produced between 1986 and 1994, and it's considered 100% made in Romania. This Mobra Hoinar. We don't have it here, unfortunately, but you can take a look at this picture and see how it looks. These off-road versions, and they eliminated the force cooling air-cooled system specific to the 50 Super, and it has more power, 5 horsepower. It has 5 gears, the gearbox, and could reach more than 70 kilometers per hour. The maximum speed for this bike, it's around 60 kilometers per hour. The Mobra 50 Super. What a legend. Let's move forward. This is the Java Militia version 350 in 1985. The Java 350 started in the 30s in Czechoslovakia, and after the 1992 continues until now in the Czech Republic. But its peak was in the 50s when its air-cooled 2-stroke engine could actually, with this bike you could reach 130 kilometers per hour, and it was exported in 120 countries all over the world. Maybe that's why this bike was used by the police during those times, or militia, how it's called, how it was called actually. The Honda CX500, they came up with this one in 1978 under the slogan "First to the Future." That's before the movie Back to the Future was planned to be produced. And his predecessor, CB550, was a motorcycle with very good handling and exceptional performances. This is a 1983 TX500, 4-stroke, 2 cylinders, V. These cylinders are in V. It's liquid cooled, 2 carburetors, 5 gears, cardan transmission, 50 horsepower. Quite a powerful bike for those times. And here we have the Honda CB360T. This is a 1974 4-stroke, 2 cylinders in line, 6 gears, chain transmission, 34 horsepower, 160 kilometers per hour. This is the maximum speed. What we have here, that's a 1998 Kawasaki GPZ 500S. This motorcycle, it's a 4-stroke, 2-cylinder, line cylinder, and it has 6 gears, 60 horsepower, 185 maximum speed. This bike was very popular because it was relatively cheap, easy to maintain, very easy to ride by the beginners, so it was quite a popular, easy to fix. This one, the Kawasaki W 650, was not only one of the first modern retro design motorcycles, which was actually sending us to the 60s. It came 1 year before the most famous Bonneville from Triumph, but it's considered one of the best in the series. It's charming actually when you take a look at it. It has metallic commands. It's authentic. It's exactly like the bikes which were produced 6 decades ago. It's tried to replicate the British style of the 60s, but also was developed to bring a tribute to the Meguro motorcycle brand, because Kawasaki took over in It enters on the motor market, launching the W1 model in 1966. But the engine of this bike wasn't rise to the expectations from the performances. But nevertheless, this is quite an impressive looking bike. And actually a modern retro bike. And what we have here, it's quite a very modern electric bike, Energica Ifa Ribelle Tricolore 2022 version. It looks quite amazing. It's quite a powerful bike. It's a synchron electric motor, liquid cooled with 300 volts, and it has 12,000 RPMs. This bike develops maximum power of 169 horsepower, which is quite a lot. It's high speed. It's electronically limited to 200 kilometers per hour. But check out this beast. This bike weighs no less than 260 kilos, but it has quite a very low center of gravity. And the torque is 215 Newton meters, which is available instantaneously. So you can imagine only 2.6 seconds to reach 100 kilometers per hour. And it's quite amazing. It has a propulsor and EMCE inverter, which are standard on the Tricolore version, which offers more power and they reduce the weight of the motorcycle. This bike has quite a lot of assistant electronics. If you are located in Bucharest, lucky you can come and visit this motorcycle show in the Promenada Mall. That was it for today. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, bye bye.